Granblue Fantasy Relink just got better in terms of character progression thanks to the latest 1.3.0 update. There are a lot of changes and improvements made, but also there are a plethora of additions that Cygames didn't mention in the latest patch notes, things that will surely interest you. I'm the Samurai and I will be covering all the important details that you need to know in the latest update to get you up to speed, while also providing my thoughts along the way. This will save you tons of hassle by guiding you and giving you progression tips that will help you focus on the things that matter, so ultimately you will save time and enjoy the latest content. First off, let's tackle the important things and new features that you need to know to have a clearer picture of the changes made recently. The first on the list are the new side quests available in the game. If you are a completionist, indeed there are new quests that you can complete, so be on the lookout, especially look for Roland. Moving on to the next one, which are the newly added quest counter quests. Talking about the newly added quest counter quests, these may be a little bit concerning for a lot of people. Right out of the gate, I am setting your expectations that these quests will feel overtuned in a lot of ways. If you just want character progression, you will just focus on the two added quests, which are the Pageant of Might and Magic and Satbas Volunteers, but more into this later. What I want to talk about the last quest is they felt that all of them felt really overtuned, especially Zero and Dark Swordsman's Nightmare, and thankfully these two are not required to be farmed over and over. Pageant of Might and Magic and Satbas Volunteers will throw you into gauntlet of bosses in the game, and most of them come in pairs. These battles will be a test of resilience and patience, as they usually last around 15 to 20 minutes each, especially if you will be spamming these quests. Critical gauges during these fights will drastically shorten, so dying will affect the whole party. Pageant of Might and Magic and Satbas Volunteers are still good quests in my opinion, as they drop the latest sigils in the game. But what I am concerned about are the level 250 Lucilius quests and the Dark Swordsman's Nightmare, since these two in my opinion are the hardest of them all. It took us countless of tries to beat Ido and Versa alone, knowing that there were no significant rewards at the end. This goes for Zero quests as well, other than a special sticker if you beat level 250 Lucilius under 8 minutes, and it was a huge letdown for us knowing that some kind of new weapons or sigils would drop from these fights other than a trophy. If you are wondering if you can complete Zeros and Versa's quests by using AIs, I believe as well that the chances are quite low or slim at the moment, since Cygames set a strict short completion times, and it may be possible in the future if your AIs will have the absolute best setups. I love to challenge myself, and the followers of this channel knows that. However, I was expecting some kind of a reward from these fights. If you will do Versa and Lucilius fights, just take these as your proper in-game fights that you can take on after you fully build your characters. Moving on to the next one, which is the regular balances and fixes. As usual, there are a lot of changes made to our characters, and we are not going through every one of them since by now you are already aware if your main received changes, but I'm still posting them on the screen right now, and pause the video if you need to if you want to read them. The next improvement on the list is Lucilius Quest Cutscene Skip. That's a mouthful. I know it may sound a little thing, but I believe how I wish they implemented this sooner. I love spending my time wisely, especially since all of us spends a lot of time running this quest, since you will be farming oppositials for your main and for your AIs. Moving on to the next one, which is Narmaya's HUD experience. As a Narmaya main, I cannot stress how impactful the new added butterfly count is for Narmaya. My experience with her went so much better after the update, since the HUD will clearly show how many butterflies we have, and I can just sit back and focus on my combos or just doing mechanics without trying so hard counting my current butterflies in the past. Moving on to the next one, and the next addition was one of the things that I mentioned in the feature video that we all needed, and finally they implemented it. You can now lock sigils during career appraisals, trans marvels, and reward screen results. Again, another feature that may sound boring, but it is a huge time saver and it should have been implemented in the past sooner. Now, all of the newly added significant stuff is out of the way. It is time for 6 progression tips that will help you progress faster in the latest update. The first step on the list is stocking up your Transmarble charges if you didn't do this after watching my recent preparation video. Having hundreds of Transmarvels is a great stuff recently because the recent Transmarvels results are revamped. And I will explain this in a minute why you should stock up your Transmarvels. The second tip is a follow-up on the first one, which is getting your Giga Chad Wrightstones and Warpath Sigils. What do I mean by Giga Chad Wrightstones? I hear you asking. By doing Turns Marvels, we can now get Wrightstones with a level 20 first trait, a level 15 for the second one, and lastly, level 10 for the last trait. How cool is that? I see this as one of the actions or steps to possibly provide us more room when slotting in essential traits for our builds and ultimately make room for our sigil slots so we can use the newly available sigils. Now for the Warpath sigils, we can get Warpaths with second trait as well, so if your character has a good Warpath sigil, this is a huge plus for you. But before the next step, only 3% of you who watch the channel regularly are subscribed, so help the channel by subscribing today, and it's free anyway, and I will thank you forever. If you can hit the like button as well, it will surely help me a lot. Join our Discord server as we are building an empire where you can like-minded people who love the same genre that you are interested in. The third tip on the list is to get your War Elemental Plus from the old Behemoth quest, as it just got better. Not only this quest drops sub 5 plus, as you will be needing a lot of these later on, but players can now get War Elemental Plus, which is another great addition to our builds. The second trait that it provides will drastically help you squeeze in more traits that you need later on. So I will be spending a lot of time on auto farming here again, so if you want to make sure that your runs are faster than ever, check my AI optimization guide in the card here or in the description. Moving on to the fourth tip, which is optimizing your sub 5 plus sigils. Let's say you already gathered a handful of sub 5 plus with a lot of bad traits. Worry not, as the new sigil synthesis feature can fix these bad sigils. I mentioned in my recent video that I had a mixed feelings about the sigil synthesis feature, about whether it is going to be useful or not, but after doing a series of tests, I am happy to tell everyone that it can be a huge help. I didn't know at first that two sigils can contain the same trait, leading to my mentioned tip, which is optimizing your sub 5 plus sigils. Players can now combine two sub 5 plus and possibly get a single one containing both traits, which offers a whopping level 30 supplementary damage on a single slot. This is huge, as we are now able to fit new traits in our builds for our staple characters. Even more useful for special characters like Tweyen and Seophon, as they will only need one slot of supplementary damage sigil if you optimize it. So try to optimize your builds by taking advantage of this feature, as it is now possible to have the same trait type on a single sigil. However, there are sigils that you can synthesize, such as character specific sigils, which is a bummer, Warpath sigils, and even Echo sigils, which are the latest ones. So take note of this. It is also worth mentioning that I happily conclude that our staple reroll trick works on sigil synthesis. I get this question a lot, so putting this on a spotlight will be useful, so take this to your advantage, especially when making your optimized sub 5 plus sigils. Again, if you don't know how the reroll trick works, I've also put it in the description. Moving on to the next progression tip, which is farming the new Echo sigils. The Spartan and Berserker Echoes are showing great potentials after doing a handful of runs. These brand new sigils are worth considering, since they add a whopping another 20% supplementary damage on top of your original one. I'm using the Berserker Echo so far, as it only requires 25k attack stat to take effect, and it is doing wonders so far, and I am seeing a lot of damage increase. So expect to see this in my future builds or updates. However, farming this may be taxing for a lot of players, and this is the reason why I suggested optimizing your builds in the previous tips, since Berserker and Echo drops from the new quest, which is pretty challenging for a lot of players. These new sigils can be farmed by playing the first two quests, and for the record, I am not saying you can complete Pageant of Might and Magic and Sattva's volunteers without following the previous tips. It's just that there are people who want to take it slow, and having optimized builds will increase your chance of success when doing these runs, as they are tight as hell. I cleared the first two quests by just using my old build before the update, so I know it's possible. Down to the next progression tip, which is unlocking and maxing Sandalphon. Pretty much if you're done optimizing your new main character builds, who doesn't want to try and max out the amazing Sandalphon, right? Right out of the gate, to unlock this guy, you can just spam the regular Lucilius fight and pretty much skip the Zero quest entirely. The regular Lucilius quest drops K9 white blooms, and you only need 3 of these flowers before trading Sandalphon's special crewmate card from Zero. I am having a blast maining this guy so far, so expect a guide from him soon. It is worth noting that stocking up K9 white blooms will be beneficial, since you need it in Sandalphon's character progression. Progression-wise, I felt that my interest in Relink was ignited, and pretty much having to work with new sigil slots thanks to the current optimization was an engaging and addicting experience in my case. However, it is such a bummer to know that Zero and Versa Quest will not drop anything significant, and this is the only grab that I have so far, and if they had provided some kind of good rewards, my experience could have been so much better. Let's enjoy this update while it lasts, and I want to know what your thoughts regarding the whole update. Are you enjoying the update so far, or do you find all the quests overtuned as well? Hit me up in the comments, and thank you for watching as always, and I appreciate you all, and I will catch you on the next one.